driver, you say?
Yeah, it's just better. I just like it. Train synergy, which is brilliant. Vulcan, I think, would have really liked to play the Rakan. It's a little bit more difficult into the Poppy, but maybe he's going to do it anyway, just with the amount of value you get with Rumble and the Wukong.
I think that's why they played the Poppy, but I'd rather see this with a lane.
To fight for something, as Flip doesn't quite find the Q there onto APA, account 3.
Yeah, you know, on like, okay, hold up.
Yep, Pro Judge coming on through as Blabber is going to be able to take his Grump at least. Quantum just trying to be annoying and will succeed. When comes Lightning, not quite doing it as Vulcan with a Magical Journey doesn't get a stun.
Risky.
Yeah, it is indeed as Blabber with a Nimbus Strike is going to come on through, and now Doive down to about 200, gets the Conqueror proc. Steadfast Presence is good there as the flash has to be employed from Blabber to get himself out of there. And now Sven is the one that has to pay the price.
In Liquipy and stuff, there's also usually a section below the player's profile picture that says, like, also known as.
Oh, yeah.
Account 3 better be under APA's name after this.
Yes! We need
Lancer dead? No?
Yeah, it didn't actually get the knock-up from the Searing Charge, so Thanatos able to offer a bunch of damage back. But you can see Lancer actually feeling pretty comfortable here in this lane, does have the Negatron Cloak already completed. And so Thanatos going to struggle a little bit to do big damage. And speaking of big damage, Sven did die to First Blood, but hasn't actually suffered too much as far as the lane is concerned. You can see here the minions are looking all right, as Thanatos is going to silence himself, and Lancer actually doing a decent job. The level 6s have come out for both top laners, as Thanatos is going to now back away. The fact that equalizer did clear out the wave. Quantum now looking for Vulcan, and we'll be able to find him. And there's the Cosmic Binding. And so it might just be a Buckler and a Q. Sven is going to come on over. Doive gets on in there, and the heal comes on through as Blabber's making his way down. There's a teleport from Thanatos as well. Remember, he doesn't have the equalizer, but they might still be able to get something done here with a full health Rumble. That's a great Cosmic Binding out from Vulcan. But the engage is a little sloppy. Account 3 now moving on in. APA getting in there with the flash, and it's Doive that goes down first in this exchange. The Ram is going to sail by, but relatively unnoticed here by C9. As the Realm Warp going to deliver Flip towards Blabber. He's going to kill him once again from 200 health. And now APA finding himself in a very uncomfortable spot. The threaded volley not going to connect there onto the Rise, and Flip grabs a double. That's a killing spree for the Rise. And
actually locks Sven down, or forces him to flash even. Still such an edge. But he does get away. And I agree with you in the sense that, okay, here we go.
Yep, APA looking for an angle here. Seismic Shove collects him, and he's dead.
Ooh,
it's a solo kill.
And Vulcan stops the wraparound actually as well with a double stun, so he actually gets out with his ultimate.
Yeah, the Cosmic Binding absolutely fantastic to stop any sort of follow-up. And C9 answering back now, another Seismic Shove to come in. And this guy's Taliyah is really, really good. You can say what you want about how the Mel went last time around, but the Taliyah has been fantastic here for APA's Tempered Fate comes on in. Flip getting set up, has to flash to get out of the way of the Seismic Shove.
For a lot of burst through this mid game, and you know, it has his Blackfire Torch online already. We'll be looking for that second item a little bit faster than Taliyah normally would in just a normal farming situation. Is Flip, does he get flipped this time?
Yeah, well, he might, as let's see whether he can keep himself alive. He does get flipped, Wolf, unfortunately. The Cyclone comes on in, and it's Blabber that locks down the kill.
That's your thing, you don't get flipped.
Well,
it wasn't fair, though.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems is that Blabber is the one that gets the shutdown money as well, and so this jungler is going to feel way better. Another Seismic Shove, this time onto Quantum, but he flashes out of the way. That's an ulti from Doive as Vulcan puts down the ult to try and save Blabber. It's going to work for the moment as the train comes out of the station, and it is Blabber falling down, but Lancer has to sacrifice himself, and that is almost an ace, as Quantum is now going to go down, and there it is. Ace comes on in at 14.5 minutes. He's got his upgraded shoes as well as the Trinity Force. In fact, double triangles here for C9. So feeling good about the state of the game at the minute. Almost 2 items here for APA. 5, 1, and 2, like you were saying. Very, very scary. But now, they've started this one up. DN Freaks now looking for another angle in. Wind Becomes Lightning connects onto Vulcan, but they don't want to engage onto the Bard. As now you've got a Realm Warp coming in. Doive finding a bit of damage, but it is going to be the Rift Herald taken. That is not the real monkey, as there is the Keeper's Verdict. It gets rid of Thanatos, but he's already thrown down the ulti, and now Vulcan, he's the one that's in trouble. Enosh is going to grab that kill as Thanatos gets back into the fight, and now he's got the flamethrower. APA blocks out the rest of his team, but they make their way over the wall, and it is 2 on the floor. Lancer and Doi both taken out as now Flip is running for the hills. He needs to rush some phases if he wants to get out of here.
I would say it's at least level 3.
Or is it a count? You never really know.
He is both bursty, but also does a ton of long-term damage to even Lancer in these fights now.
Oh, Equalizer just to clear out the wave, just to avoid being dove here, is Thanatos. Let's see whether he is actually going to be all right, as there's a Poppy also coming in. 4 versus 1. As Redemption gets a bit of the health back, Heroic Charge comes on in. Quantum in a bit of trouble. He will die. Never mind, because the Tempered Fate is going to lock up the turret. That's a little bit of a shame there, as Doive is going to be dead as well. C9, they will be able to avenge their top laner, as Keeper's Verdict gets rid of the monkey, but Account 3 gets on in. Doesn't get the knockback, but manages to flash away from the rest of the DN Freaks. Sven, can you kill Enosh? That's the question. He has a Valkyrie, and that's going to allow him to do so. And now some Alcove Gaming, as Lancer's teleporting out of there, and Flip is unfortunately very dead.
Yeah, Flip does get taken out there. Looked for a second like maybe Enosh was going to be able to carry that fight. Should be a turret here for DNF in exchange.
That's what they're looking for, but Account 3 is in position. Now the Otacon, APA is ready to get that wall out. You can feel it.
I mean, look at where Thanatos is. He has TP, but he's also pushing the turret. DNF need to be decisive, as this turret is already super low. And they're going to lose more than just this Otacon if they end up losing a fight here.
Well, let's just see as Thanatos, let's see when the teleport is going to start. Here it comes. The wall is down as well. In goes Blabber, finding a lot of value with that Cyclone. Seismic Shove does go wide, though, and the monkey is going to fall. They dive on top of APA, and they will be able to take him out. But, oh, never mind. It takes them a really long time as in goes Thanatos, but he's stunned up. He does finally get the burn, and now it's on Sven. He needs to get this damage down as Lancer on such low health. Quantum is also dead. Enosh, the last man standing, and the flash forward for Sven to lock up the quadra kill and win the team fight. As he looks to try and go for a re-engage. Magical Journey there from Vulcan, holding on to Doive as the Ram is going to come in. Oh, denied the knockback, and Lancer is just going to die as a result. Man, Vulcan, on the Alistair and the bar this tournament, he has looked so extraordinarily good. I think we're voting for him again, aren't we?
And the inner turret goes down the bottom side. So yes, some bounty gold did go over, but there's definitely a huge trade up for C9. And now we're looking at Baron territory here in 1 minute and 20 seconds with this Fed Corki that's almost on a 4th item here.
Ooh, Thanatos,
though.
Is he going to be all right? That's the question. The Rune Prison comes on down. The Flame Splitter is doing a fair bit of work, but he does not have an arm guard, so he's just dead.
It's not over till it's over, so C9 fans should feel comfortable now, but C9 cannot get complacent. They really need to tighten up how their late game has looked here and make sure that they can close this one out cleanly.
Yep. It looks like DNF not really too worried about this dragon that's spawning in 7 seconds time. It's going to be all about this Baron that they have started in darkness. The Bard is going to move in, spots out that this is what the DN Freaks are going to be doing, and Blabber in the area will be able to get in if they do get this one low enough. You see the Tempered Fate coming on down. Vulcan wanting to make sure that there's a fight instead of a 50-50. The flash is going to be gained out of Quantum as they want to get rid of him. The Equalizer comes down, not a massive amount of value here for Thanatos as the Slurkle coming on in to slow up C9 on their way out. The flash on top of Enosh as he dashes to get himself out of the way, and there is the knock-up onto Thanatos, who's now just going to try and turn it himself. He gets thrown around like a rag doll, and he's going to be the first to fall down. A Cyclone coming in as Doive in a lot of trouble, but he has the Crescent Guard to keep him alive. These health bars are so low, though, and APA is at full health. The flash forward, the Nimbus Strike, and there's the Q for the kill as the Seismic Shove is just too good. A double kill for Blabber as now the rest of the DN Freaks, they want out, but unfortunately, they don't have a map. They're going the wrong direction.
Misses there, that's huge.
Oh dear, okay.
Enosh against the world.
Yep, Sven going to come on in here. He's going very, very low, but there's the explosion of damage. Flip gets flipped, and that's the ace. And still, this turret is going to fall down. DN Freaks, not a whole lot they can do about this as there's Horizons and Zhao making their way in. But Doive and Flip arriving, I don't think is really going to stop this inhibitor from exploding. And the bottom lane one is also under fire as they take out that turret at the same time. This is a lot of Baron value, and there is still almost 2 minutes left on that timer. See what C9 can get done. As Sven, still at relatively high health, the equalizer comes down. That is going to be the tempered fate just to make sure Doiv cannot do anything defensive. He throws down the Crescent Guard, and Blabber is still getting amongst it. Flip is going to go down once again, and Blabber is just staying in there. The Steadfast Presence comes through. That means the Quantum survives, but there is no Steadfast Presence for Doiv as they are looking to finish off these Nexus turrets. And here, sub 30 minutes, C9 are going to be able to win Game 1 over the DN Freaks and look to go up 1-0 in this best of 3, trying their very best to keep their hopes alive here in the last chance qualifier.
APA and Vulcan setting Sven up for success.
Dude,
in
my
this game.
new favorite player is Account 3. This guy is looking real good.
I'm going to have to vote for him. I think he's going to be my player of the game in this one.
I don't know him well enough. I have to vote for Vulcan.
I mean, I just think APA had too many really big shoves in this game, too much setup. You could vote for Vulcan because his ultimates were, for the most part, incredible. His double bindings in some of those scrappy fights, even the fights they lost, like he actually, if he hadn't played it as well as he did, it could have been even worse. I
have a problem, I think. I think I've just got like full-on Vulcan bias.
Red side in the first place. Surely Quantum can play Renata. He plays a lot of enchanters. He plays a lot of ranged supports. Surely.
Instead, it's looking like it might be a Leona.
I mean,
we'll lock it in.
So the Leona is a very different type of pick here, and because you don't have like a traditional scaling mid laner, you have one that scales well, but it's not like a Victor. It's not like an AP carry that's just going to layer damage in. Rosanna played and the stun when she's level 2, so I don't think he's going to be looking for a dive. It would have been a little bit crazy. Yeah. Unfortunately, Doiv is looking for his camps, and he's going to find out, wait a second.
Yeah, he's
some of those are missing.
He's going to get some wolves, but
the thing
he's
is
going to realize that everything is kind of gone.
Yeah, if his wolves were gone, at least it would have given him a faster heads up. Now he's just going to be bewildered a little bit later. As you can see, Blabber is already clearing his bottom left quadrant of the jungle. Okay, Doiv knows now. They are pushed up pretty far, but it's hard-pressed. He's going to be hard-pressed to actually do anything here.
Whoa, that's a flash in there from Quantum as Sven immediately just cleanse flashing to get himself out of the way there. Blabber now on his red buff. Doiv with vision will be dashing on over and down to 49 health, but it's stolen away here by Doiv. Blabber, can you actually win this 1v1? That's the question, as Conquerors have been procced and the junglers are doing battle. There's the Infernal Chains. Doiv not going to get pulled back, but Vulcan makes his way in. The flash has to be employed. As Sven standing at the ready, the flash over from Vulcan as they do manage to lock down Doiv. Piercing arrow going to be coming in, does do a little bit of extra damage there, but APA not actually able to get his way over, and there is Flip making his way in. Blabber in a lot of trouble. Infernal Chains goes down as Quantum may be overextended, but never mind. It is going to be First Blood going over to the Callista. Now Doiv possibly in trouble. Enosh goes down as Vulcan is still at full health, and it's 3 already for C9 here at 4 minutes in the game. And Flip, oh yeah, remember, this was in the spotlight, man. You don't rebut that ability.
But they already have the trade of objectives, so to speak, so it feels pretty good about it.
Yep.
And I don't think with the, Sven?
Yeah, gonna have to use the cleanse to get himself out of the way as Enosh forcing the flash out from Sven. As Blabber might be able to deny 3
It's starting to get a little messy.
Oh, never mind. They're 1 for 1, actually, as Blabber was able to steal away the second. Flash out, as there's the World Ender as well. A bit of an interesting maneuver there, as now Doiv goes in with the ulti. He's down very, very low, but it's Blabber that falls first. Sven wanting to get that extra shot onto Doiv, but he's unable to get there, and then finds himself in no man's land. DN Freaks finding themselves a great fight around those grubs. Yeah, just looked a little bit awkward. As now Quantum moving back underneath his top lane outer turret. Thanatos wanting to grab himself a plate, and he will be able to get one as APA finding the scatter here on to Flip. Flip not this time rebutting a dredge line, but unfortunately, if you don't rebut it, you just kind of don't do too much of anything as he flashes to do nothing at all, and APA locks down the kill. I guess this Syndra matchup is pretty good into the Mel.
If Flip, I mean, if APA was a little bit lower there, maybe the flash could have helped him secure the execute there, but he wasn't anywhere close to the range of execute at this point in the game, and that was, I think, a little bit of desperation. Sometimes you just press all your buttons in panic in moments like that. So he also now lost his flash, which doesn't feel great. Speaking of flash,
yeah, Enosh has lost his flash also, as Chains of Corruption not going to find too much as the Captain Jack comes in from Enosh. Very nicely done. Sven's dead.
Got out. I'm just going to push the Nautilus back as Vulcan tries to hold the wave, and it looks like Sven will get some of that. We'll see an interrupt. We will.
Yep, Lancer not going to quite find the pushback there onto Thanatos, who throws down the Dominus here. There's the flash to lock up Lancer. And this is a lot of extra damage, but he's not actually going to go for the kill. And now Flash is now available for Lancer and not there for Thanatos. So I'm not sure about that one. Not exactly worth, you might say. Solar Flare not going to quite get the stun, but now in comes Doiv as well. Sven will be taken out. And it's a great gank there from DNF. I mean, multiple wards protecting that bottom lane to allow Enosh to play this aggressively. And it will also possibly give them this dragon. Blabber is in the area, but it's 3 versus 2 for now. APA with the inside track towards his mid lane. Great hook to connect onto Doiv, who just explodes. Now APA wanting the extra damage as Enosh will be taken out. Not before he does get 1 kill, but Quantum's forced to flash his way out of there. Great scatter there from APA. As Quantum is going to be picked up as well. The Dark Sphere is not going to connect, but Blabber really wants this kill. Doesn't hit the Q, and out will go Quantum. Another Cloud Soul. That's feeling pretty good. C9, Cloud in the name. Do have the access to Cloud Soul Point if they do manage to pick up the next Drake. That's going to be 4.5 minutes, though, so getting ahead of ourselves. The only gold lead here for the DN Freaks is going to be Enosh towards the bottom side with that Callista. We'll see whether they can play around that. As I say it, Doiv does head to a little bit of an advantage. But, man, look at the CS gap, and he's still ahead by 4 gold. The Solar Flare is going to just barely miss as APA now potentially in trouble. Quantum going down low, but it's the Syndra that dies first. Still, Sven is going to get there. Throws down the ulti to lock up the kill onto the Leona, but I think Vulcan is also dead. Does try to taxi his way out with that dredge line, but is unable to do so before Flip is able to grab that kill. Some damage being decided on either side.
Not quite able to hit that orb. This is a very, very tense fight here. The advantage in terms of items for these junglers is Doiv's, but it's Sundered Sky for the Aatrox, who is Aatrox, so it's pretty even.
Yeah, I'm feeling like it's relatively even.
Yeah.
And the Rift Herald will be started up here. Doiv taking
Lance
a bit of damage from it as, Lance is making his way in. Let's see whether C9 can actually get this one done, as not a lot of value there from Flip, as the Fate's Call is going to be coming on in. The poke damage is actually coming in pretty well, as now Thanatos gets exhausted as he makes his way forward, as Quantum's the first one to die. Lancer is very close to dead as well, as it's Sven just free hitting in this fight, and it's a double to come through from APA already. All of them are wiped out at the cost of only Blabber, as C9 will also take themselves the Rift Herald. A fantastic team fight.
He picks up 2 more for APA, who now has his Cosmic Drive online, and just like that, the pendulum swings back to C9.
Well, Vulcan is going to find a few friends here towards this bottom side of the map. Doiv going to make his way in. No flash available for the Nautilus. He is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just a fact. Yeah, Sven's actually team fighting like a whole lot more freely in this game than what I was expecting, because Varus, especially the on-hit variety, it's very difficult to free hit in fights, and he has been able to do so as Thanatos has to flash to get out of the way of the Solar Flare.
Ooh, that collapse means he escapes. He has to flash, but he gives so much control to the top side here for C9.
Ooh, great hook is going to connect the chain CC onto Lancer, and the Unleashed Power is enough. Doiv going to get knocked up there as well. They need to be careful of the public execution, but now the Crocodile going to be going down. Doiv in trouble, but he survives. Oh, there's the piercing arrow to take him out. Another rebuttal onto the wrong ability, as Flip really needs to check out that video after this game, as Enosh is trying to bounce around the fight, but unfortunately he's bouncing to the death chamber, as that is another phenomenal fight for C9, and only Flip is left alive.
Flip might be able to get the execute here. Nah, Blabber says no.
Yeah, Blabber's just going to be able to walk after him and pick this one up. The smite goes down, the Infernal Chains come in, and unfortunately there is not enough rebuttal to stop him from dying.
Like, cool. Thanks for the free position. Thanks for the free dragon.
Yeah.
And that's sole point, sub 20 minutes.
It's looking really good here for C9. I do want to say that Enosh is very good at math, though. 8 divided by 4 does indeed equal 2. So there that is. C9, can they stop this from going down? I hazard a guess that this is going to be a yes.
Renekton TPing in, I think so. Sven is a little bit far away, but he should have enough time to get here.
Oh, APA also getting the stun on to Flip there. Unleashed Power almost just straight up kills him, and the Otacon is doing so much work. It is going to be Sven locking that one down in the end. Quantum in a little bit of trouble as, oh my god, Doiv just disappeared. Lancer may suffer the same fate as well, as Sven is just bearing down on him with the bow and arrow, and he will be taking out a triple kill here for the Varus.
And the play-by-play, Flip basically died instantly.
Not a whole lot he could do. Here we've got another battle as Fate's Call is going to be invested. Blabber could be in for it though, as Quantum going down relatively low, but Blabber is also in a rough spot. Enosh is behind the C9 members, but at the moment actually able to make this one work. APA finding the kill under the support, but now it's 4 versus 1 as he walks past the turret. There is the scat of the week as APA running real fast with that phase rush. And let's see whether he can keep himself alive. It looks like the answer is yes. All right, Vulcan going to be moving on in. APA not even needing to really tank too much, as he will be able to get himself out.
Right? He gets out of here. That's actually insane. That was a huge shutdown they needed so desperately.
Oh, public execution not going to connect. Just going to move on over and take out this inner turret. I think the DNF were expecting a setup around the Cloud Soul, but instead C9 have said, well, your Nexus is what we kind of want to kill the most. And they're going to head over, break open the base here in this mid lane, and possibly even then rotate back towards the Dragon. The turret is going to stay alive, but this has done so much work in making sure that the Drake is now theirs. Quantum is caught in a very awkward spot and will just be wiped out. Doive not able to get in there. Public execution out of desperation, and he's going to be CC'd to high heaven. Takes a long time to go down as Sven will be taken out. Lancer also in a lot of trouble as APA gets dove on, and it's going to be Blabber with enough damage to make this one work.
With some impressive dodges.
APA is walking very, very quickly with his 25 stack Magi's, as we can see here. Just having a great time. Oh, Capybara having a bath. You love to see it.
Wait until he has Cloud Soul. He already has 1 Cloud Dragon as
there
well.
it is. Well, I didn't have to wait very long, Wolf.
Yeah, no, it was right there.
I appreciate that. In this day and age, you know, with pretty instant gratification, I am very glad that you didn't give too much time for me to wait.
I told you to wait, and it was less than 6 seconds.
We don't have to wait for that as well, as Blabber is going to be able to finish that one off as APA makes his way back in with a teleport. The Fate's Call from nowhere as Quantum comes back to the realm of Summoner's Rift and doesn't really like it here. He's going to be taking the Death Chamber exit. And C9 just in all the control in the world, and it's all about
Baron.
Closing this one out as quickly as humanly possible.
Yeah, Baron is going to be a pretty free setup here for C9. Doive is alive.
PV, that's EVE. That was environment versus environment.
Environment thrown at environment.
That's crazy. I haven't seen that before.
I mean, that was the last real fight we might ever see, and to call it a real fight is honestly a little bit dishonest.
Yeah, I think the real fight that we saw was a while ago.
Yeah.
Flip's rebutting something, but it's one of those things where you're in debate club, you're saying, I've got a rebuttal, but really you don't. You don't really have much to say. As the flash forward from Thanatos, he gets on top of Enosh, who's going to be taken out as well. Can he find the triple in the 1v3 as Quantum underneath the turret, and there it is, the triple kill by himself.
Surely they get the cross map onto APA.
Yeah, APA is just going to unleash the power onto the Cassante, and Thanatos is like, guys, we need to win as fast as we can. Let's kill the Nexus now.
Yeah, I mean, you'd see how fast APA was
Look at
running
his
after
face
the
as well.
ultimate.
Thanatos pretty happy about how that one went.
Yeah, I think he should be after he plays 1v3, kills all 3. Sven's crashing the second wave through. You can see Vulcan is using his dredge line to get himself into the base as fast as possible to end this one. Hopefully sub 27 is what they are looking for here. Baron's still up. We're going to see a back and a TP here for Thanatos so he can come back in with full health, or at least near full health.
Yeah.
Here comes Vulcan.
But coming on through there is Blabber. Slowed down a little bit as the Solar Flare comes in, but the flash forward immediately on top of the Mel. She's just going to die. And onto the fountain goes Enosh, and the Nexus will go down. 27 minutes here in Game 2 as C9 wrap up the series with a 2-0 over the DN Freaks. That was domination, and even if Nongshim are able to take down the DN Freaks after this is a great last look at C9 here in Korea.
I am voting Vulcan, even though I feel like I voted APA last time and he got it. Maybe this time APA is going to get it because he was so big on the Syndra, but I'm going with the Vulcan vote here.
I kind of want to flip-flop to Thanatos, but actually I'm going to go Vulcan as well because he's the best player ever.
Yeah,